Devin Pike with the Dallas International Film Festival. An amazing job by James House and Sarah Harris, the programmers of the festival, to get a phenomenal slate of narrative features. One of them is a really challenging feature, and I'm still getting used to the new title. How long has it been called Anna, by the way?
Like 1 month ago. So
Okay, so even
pretty...
the director of Anna, Jorge Dorado, is joining us. First off, thank you for bringing this film to Dallas and to the festival. It's a really challenging film, in that everyone wonders what goes on in their own head, and being able to see into other people's heads and solve a mystery in that is at the crux of the film. Talk to me a little bit about how you chose this to be your first full-length feature.
Actually, it was Guy Holmes, the writer, who came up with the idea. So we met, like, I think it was 5 years ago, something like that, in LA, because we are represented by the same manager, by Peter Safran. Now it's Tom Drum. And he connected us, and we really hit it up from the very beginning. And the original screenplay had something that I was developing in my short films also. That thing that people is hiding things, that idea, I like it, is like that wolf in sheep's clothing. I love that. So it's like the two sides of the people. No, everybody's hiding something. Everybody has secrets. So that was something I was exploring in my short film, and I was like feel really comfortable with that material Guy Holmes wrote. No?
When you were plotting out the film after you had absorbed the script and knew that it was going to be your feature, what approach did you take as far as, I know I need to make this a little surreal, but it needs to be just real enough to where the audience isn't completely freaked out by it?
Yeah.
What was your process on figuring out the methods?
So from the very beginning, I tried not to do another sci-fi movie, you know what I mean? So there is a lot of TV shows speaking about people who have like special abilities, can travel to the future or whatever. So I wanted to do more like a contemporary classic. So that's why I decided to do kind of neo-noir movie, because I realized that in the script it's a kind of detective. Actually, it's a memory detective who travels people's memory, but it's a kind of modern detective, and it's a tricky case. And there's a kind of femme fatale who is that teenager who is kind of locked in that room. So it's more like a real film noir. So I decided to follow that part of the story, and yeah, it's more like that's the story. That I think that's why people like it, because they're trying to guess as a detective what's happening with this girl, what's going to happen next. No, they are trying to discover the truth, while they are sitting in the seats.
Phenomenal cast in the film. I've been a fan of Mark Strong's for a long time. Talk a little bit about working with him, because he brings an intensity that it's really hard to match. Or even find anybody who has the same kind of quality. Talk a little about working with him.
Well, Mark is amazing. We really became really good friends from the very beginning, and it's my first feature as a director. But I realized it. I didn't know that, but now it's the first feature that Mark is leading, and because he was always playing secondary roles like bad guys in that big American movies, as rock and roll, whatever, and for him was a big challenge. So. For both of us was like working something really new. So we were like two kids, like really surprising. This is this, no? And for him was every day. It's a really different experience when you're an actor and you just go for 10 days, and when you are 42 days every day, because you're really tired, but also you have to handle the story. So that was something new for Mark. And we really work as a team, making all the discussions, speaking about the script a lot, and trying to, to be just fun, because at the end of the day, making movies it's a fun thing, It's the coolest,
it can be. It can also be just nerve-wracking.
Yeah. It can be a nightmare.
On the other side of the spectrum, Thaisa Farmiga is a newcomer to the scene. We've seen her in supporting roles in a couple of different films, including her mother, Vera.
No, it's sister, actually.
Oh, sister, sorry.
It's 20 years difference, yeah?
Yeah, completely right. But it's wonderful to see somebody who has that command of the screen.
Yeah.
Very early. Talk about working with her for...
Well, Thaisa is intuition, because she has not... she didn't study anything. She never went to a drama school or anything. She just started working with, so she started to work in American Horror Story with a secondary role, and she's like learning in every work a little more, like the technique of being an actress, but she has something like inside, no? I think she's not acting, she's just became the character like really fast, and she is Anna. So that's family, no? And it was a different process than working with Mark, because with Mark we were speaking about the whole story, about the arc of the character, and with Thaisa was my experience or what I wanted to do, because it's a really tricky and difficult character, is working it scene by scene. So okay, Thaisa, forget about the whole story, this is gonna be about seduction, and we made, the scene about seduction. It's gonna be about be nervous because you are traveling to do that, so it's about being nervous. So I think the success of Thaisa's interpretation or approach to the character is that we work it in different, like small cells.
As somebody who is, obviously it's your first feature in the director's chair, but you've done over 24 films in various roles. What is there one role that you've taken on in production that if you hadn't have done it, it wouldn't have been as easy a process to step into the director's chair for Anna, like working on The Devil's Backbone or any of your other previous films? What was the one job that you had that prepared you most for the director's chair?
It's a big question. Probably The Devil's Backbone, because working with Guillermo, and Guillermo is kind of a mentor. He really enjoy helping other directors, as he was like the mentor of a few Spanish directors and also first-time directors around the world. And so it's great to see Guillermo on set, because he's like a kid. He's enjoying the fact he's making a movie. That's why I'm telling you that it's so real fun. I have to be fun because it's so hard. And I think I learned a lot about with Guillermo about how to be a good storyteller, how that the story is the center of the of your work, and you have to be worried about the actors, but also the visuals and everything. So probably Devil's Backbone one of them. But there's I learned a little bit from all the directors, also Pedro Almodovar with Bad Education, and I Talk to Her. I learned a lot, and it's more about being there, being in the sets, watching what they're doing, because also being a director is not only speaking with actors and telling the story, it's also handle a budget, handle a schedule. You have to be under the schedule. You cannot just spend one more week or two, whatever. You have to be worried about that. So about money is important. It's the movies are really expensive, and it's your responsibility as a director, to be on budget.
When you get ready to actually release this out into the world, is there a distribution deal in place for Anna?
Yeah, it's in theaters June the 6th.
Outstanding.
Vertical Films, yeah.
Really glad to hear that. What's next for you?
Good question. When you make your first feature, you are so passionate about the story, and I know I spent like 2 years only working in Anna, and so I'm trying to find now the right story just to spend another couple of years. I found something, but I cannot tell you because it's not.
Oh, come on! It's just
already
these
closed.
Cameras aren't here. just you and me talking.
It's gonna be another thriller. It's gonna be another kind of not detective story, but kind of psychological thriller with strong characters.
It's heartening to see a first-time director do this good of a job with this material and this cast. It's inspiring to people. I think just to look at it, if you're in film production, just to look at it and say, if everything comes together right, this is what happens. And I'm thrilled to have it here at the festival. It's gotten fantastic reviews. Thank you so much for bringing it to Dallas, Jorge. It's an absolute gas having you here.
Thanks for inviting.
You can find out more about Anna at dallasfilm.org. It's an absolute guest. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
It's a pleasure.